This tutorial will be going over a few advanced features for working with Gantt charts in Paymo. If you haven't checked the Gantt chart tutorial yet, we suggest watching it first before watching this video. Now, let's begin with the visual indicators. By default, tasks on track appear on the project timeline in green and past due ones in red. You can visually monitor the progress of each task as follows. The darker color on the Choose Text segment indicates the amount of time tracked based proportionally on this task's hourly budget. You can see between 30 and 45% of the assigned hours were tracked. The hassured portion of the Lean Canvas segment indicates that the budgeted hours allocated have been surpassed. You can tell it has been exceeded by 50%. To be sure that you never go over budget, toggle the Work from Total column to see the exact number of tracked worked hours versus each task's total budgeted hours. Another useful visual indicator is the yellow diamond, which represents a milestone. A milestone marks an important event during a project's lifetime. In Paymo, they act as due date reminders on top of a task list. That's why they are situated right beneath them. Moving on to dependent tasks, you can incorporate lead and lag time as well. Lead refers to the number of days a succeeding task can overlap with its predecessor, while lag refers to the number of days that exist as a buffer between a precedent task and its successor. For example, if the front-end development task doesn't need to be finished in full before moving on to the back-end development task, I can add 1 day of lead time by clicking on the dependency to open the link details dialog and enter -1 under Auto Scheduling Gap settings. The dependency has turned magenta to indicate that I have manually changed it. I can now have up to 1 day overlap between the tasks before the link turns red to indicate there is a problem. If you want to add lag time, you'll have to enter a positive instead of a negative number. There are also 3 different scheduling options available under the More dropdown: Manual, Auto, and Auto Strict. With manual scheduling, you can freely adjust dependencies. Invalid ones will be highlighted in red, but you'll have to readjust them yourself. The Auto option will automatically fix the dependencies, taking into account lead and lag time, while the Auto Strict option will do the same but remove any undefined lead and lag time between dependent tasks and fit the timeline of the project into the shortest time frame. The critical path can also be a useful tool to identify the most critical tasks to be completed within their date ranges in order for the project to be delivered on time. These are not the most expensive or difficult tasks, just the ones with the most crucial deadlines. Finally, you can print or export a Gantt chart as a PDF or PNG file. Do this at the beginning of a project to have a baseline of your initial planning, or throughout the project to inform your client about its progress. To make sure all Gantt chart elements fit your screen before printing, use the Fit option that we've talked about in the previous video. That's about it with the advanced Gantt chart features. You're now a pro when it comes to planning out Gantt charts in Paymo.